Good morning, Buckinghamshire. On the 1st of May, we head to the polls. The last time we fought these local elections was 4 years ago. As Nigel said, in 2021, we were riding high during the vaccine bounce. This year will be different. It will be the first time since the general election, the greatest defeat in our party's history, that we fight these seats. And if you mapped that general election result of 2024 onto this coming May, then we don't win the councils like we won in 2021. We lose almost every single one. But I think we're going to do a bit better than that. But we know that these elections will be extremely difficult. But we also know why they matter. These elections will decide who runs your local services and how much you pay for them. Who fills the potholes on your roads? Who collects your bins? Who sets your council tax? Who makes sure your community gets value for money? And in every one of these areas, Conservatives deliver lower taxes, better services. I'm in a room today filled with councillors, supporters, activists from across our country. Some of the best and brightest people who work so hard, often with no recognition, building the great reputation that allows me to stand here and say, Conservative councils are better. Conservative councils do more with less. We fix 5 times more roads than Labour councils. Fly tipping is 3 times worse in Labour-run areas. We keep council tax lower because we respect that every penny spent is not our money, but your money. Our councillors and mayors are community champions. They serve not for personal gain, but out of duty. Many have spent years, even decades, making their areas better places to live. And when we elect new Conservative councillors, we know they will be just as dedicated. That is why, since the general election, we have already won 59 by-elections. While we're working hard for local people, the non-Conservative councils are chasing pet political projects. Liberal Democrats in Oxfordshire banned meat in council-run food venues. The Labour mayor of the West Midlands made Gaza his first priority, not the job he was elected to do. While other run councils tell you how to live, Conservative councils get on with the job. Let's look at Labour councils. Labour councils always cost you more and deliver less. I was in Birmingham at the weekend. Labour has run it into the ground. Bins not collected, rubbish piling high everywhere. They have a £1 billion black hole in their budget. Now they've hiked council tax by 21% over 2 years and cut services. All while Labour councillors gave themselves a pay rise. So I say to all of you watching, don't let Labour do that to your council. If you vote Labour, you get trash. Instead of fixing the basics, they waste money on bloated bureaucracy, pointless projects, vanity decisions, vanity spending. And when those bad decisions leave them bankrupt, who pays? We all do. On May the 1st, your choice is clear. A Conservative councillor and a Conservative mayor will focus on the things that matter to you, such as keeping council tax low, filling potholes, keeping streets clean, protecting local services. And if you believe in efficient government, low taxes and living within our means, then vote Conservative. Labour has no understanding of rural areas. They push development into rural communities with no infrastructure to support it. They scrapped the Rural Services Delivery Grant, which is making it harder to fund essential services. They cut the winter fuel allowance, which is leaving pensioners struggling in colder homes, more so in rural areas than anywhere else. They launched a family farms tax, which is failing to grasp that farms aren't just businesses, they are a way of life passed down through generations. And I want to make it clear today that on the family farms tax, we will scrap this tax as soon as we return to government. On housing, they are hypocrites, stopping housing where they live but trying to put it everywhere else. Angela Rayner's reckless planning reforms mean concreting over the countryside while reducing building targets in cities. Birmingham's housing target was cut by 37%, while in South Worcestershire it was raised by 80%. We believe in building homes where they are needed, not destroying the character of rural towns and villages. As I said earlier, these elections will be tough, but we are up for the fight. We are building a gold standard campaign machine, but we need you and all our brilliant volunteers and supporters to get out and help. Every leaflet, every conversation, every vote counts. Being a Conservative is about conserving what is great about this country, our communities, our countryside, our way of life. It is about protecting people's hard-earned money, standing up for working families, small businesses, and pensioners. It's about competence, common sense, and local priorities, not vanity projects and waste. We are the only credible choice. Lib Dems will wreck your public services. Reform has no experience running anything. Greens will run councils into the ground, and Labour will spend, tax, and waste your money just like they always do. So your vote on May the 1st matters. If you want lower council tax and better services, vote Conservative. If you want a competent local government that works for you, vote Conservative. If you want to stop Labour wrecking your area, vote Conservative. Don't just hope for a great council. Vote for one. Vote Conservative. Thank you. And now I'm going to take some questions from the media. The first up is ITV.
Thank you. Lola Lawal here from ITV. You say that Nigel Farage isn't someone people want running their lives, that politics isn't show business, but he's far outperforming your party. We've actually analysed data from local council by-elections that show a 9% swing to reform, and that swing has gotten bigger since you became leader. You must be worried that his party is coming for you in the May local elections.
Well, as I said when I started speaking, these are going to be difficult local elections. We do have a challenge on the right. And one of the things that I have been saying is that we have just been kicked out of government. We need to spend this time rebuilding trust. The public are shocked, not by the fact that we're not doing well, but that the Labour government isn't doing well. And so the protest votes are going to reform. But at the end of the day, this is not a protest vote. These are local elections. People are voting for who is going to get rid of their bins and their waste and their rubbish. Look at what Labour's doing in Birmingham. They're looking at who's going to fix the potholes, fix the roads, who is going to run local services. We are a party that is credible, that has great experience. We do better than all the other parties, and that is what I'm saying. These local elections are about who is going to run local services, and there is no one better than the Conservatives. Next up, Sky News.
Sam Coates, Sky News. Kemi Badenoch, what are the ideological and policy differences between the Conservatives under your leadership and Reform UK?
So one of the things which I've been saying quite frequently, and I did in my speech on Tuesday when I launched our policy renewal programme, was that we don't just make announcements, we have a plan. Loads of other parties just tell people what they think they want to hear. We think through and make sure that we are providing a credible plan that can be delivered. A lot of people have lost trust in politics because politicians make promises and don't deliver. We also fell foul of that from time to time. And what I'm saying now is that the Conservative Party is under new leadership. This is not show business. This is not a game. This is about people's lives. This is not for us. It is for all those people out there who need credible politicians. That is what we're offering. Thank you. Third question from GB News.
Catherine Forster, GB News. No matter how good your local councillors may be, people very often vote on a verdict on the National Party. Under the Conservatives, we had well over a decade of economic stagnation, wages barely moving. You're surrounded by posters saying lower taxes, better services. But in government, the Conservatives delivered the opposite of that. Why are people going to trust you now? Isn't going to take a lot longer, realistically, for you to get a hearing?
They will trust us because we have delivered lower taxes than any other party. Labour's raising taxes even higher. But at local level, Conservative councils consistently deliver better services at a lower rate. Look at Birmingham, that's raising taxes up by 21%. We don't do that. So people right now will be getting their council tax bills for the year. The Conservative councils are lower. If you vote for something else, you will get something much worse. So we are standing on our record. I'm not here to say that we got everything right or we were perfect. That's far from the truth. Because if we were, we would still be in government. What I am here to say is that this is a party that is under new leadership, that is going back to authentic Conservative principles and has a record that it can stand on. And finally, BBC.
Damien Grammaticus from BBC. As you say, the last time these were held, you won, was it 2/3 of the seats, controlled 2/3 of the councils. You're not going to get that sort of level of result again. But the changes you've been making to policy seem to indicate one thing, that the big threat you see to your party in these elections is from reform, isn't it? You're going to lose votes to them.
What changes do you mean specifically?
Well, you've just talked about things like net zero.
Oh yes, well that's a great example. I talked about net zero in 2019. There was no reform then. In 2022, when I first stood for leadership, when I was business secretary, what people can see with me is consistency. They know what they are getting. But these local elections aren't about me. They are about the public. What is it that they want in terms of public services? It is about all of these local councillors who pound the pavements every day, fixing things, making life better for ordinary people. That is what we are doing this May. This is not a national referendum. People sometimes will vote for protest parties. But what I'm saying now is that you will have to live with what you vote for. It's not just an opinion. What you vote for is what's going to fix your roads. It may determine the schools that your children get to. It may determine what kind of social care that you have to receive. That is really important. And so it is quite critical that everyone voting in these May elections take a good look at who is standing for them. And when they do, they will see that the Conservatives have the best offer. Thank you. Thanks, everybody. Right, okay, we're going to take a picture. So one picture for the Instagram. All right. On 3, 1, 2, 3. Thanks, everybody. Yes, let me go. Thank you. All right. Yes, it is.